Deep inside your large intestine lies a highly complex, bustling biological city. This vast, deeply integrated community is your microbiome. It is composed of trillions of microorganisms that maintain your body's biological infrastructure and keep the internal environment stable. This ecosystem defends itself through colonization resistance. It acts as border security, where native microbes tightly pack together to physically block hostile invaders. By occupying every inch of real estate, they leave no space for dangerous invaders to survive, effectively starving them out. Everyday health relies on the invisible, unbroken structural integrity of this defensive living community. But sometimes that community faces a sudden environmental crisis. When you develop a bacterial infection, doctors frequently introduce life-saving, broad-spectrum antibiotics to neutralize the threat. These medications do not discriminate. They indiscriminately sweep through the gut, destroying foundational workers right alongside the target bacteria. This clearing phase happens on a massive scale. It breaks your natural defensive barrier and decimates the local population, creating immense physical voids where a thriving city used to be. While antibiotics neutralize the immediate medical threat, they often result in the total structural collapse of your foundational ecosystem. In this emptied biological landscape, the ecosystem experiences an immediate breakdown of its internal supply chain. Under normal conditions, resident microbes manufacture short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These provide the vital cellular energy required to keep your intestinal lining strong. When those workers are eliminated, complex carbohydrates from your diet sit unabsorbed. They are left abandoned inside the gut. Looking at this cross-section of the intestinal wall, we see the mechanical consequence. Abandoned carbohydrates act like a magnet, forcefully pulling excess water into the intestines through osmosis. This massive influx creates a highly unstable environment, clinically known as antibiotic-associated diarrhea, or AAD. Antibiotic-associated diarrhea represents a direct mechanical failure of the biological energy grid. Beyond chemical imbalances, there is a geographic problem. Your colon is now a wide, empty physical territory left entirely undefended. This creates an opening for opportunistic pathogens. These are aggressive invaders, like Clostridioides difficile, which search for vulnerabilities in your defenses. Without native workers to block them, these hostile invaders rapidly multiply. They aggressively colonize the newly emptied physical space, taking over the ruined infrastructure. Because the disruption event decimated your natural flora, the body loses its ability to chemically or physically suppress this biological takeover. A cleared ecosystem is a highly vulnerable, contested territory primed for hostile occupation. Recovering from this collapse requires manually introducing specialized biological reconstruction crews back into the environment. Probiotics function as specialized recovery support inputs designed to actively rebuild damaged biological infrastructure. This comparison illustrates the concept of strain specificity. While generalized fermented foods provide baseline support, severe trauma requires highly specialized strains with the specific genetic architecture needed to integrate with and repair the damaged structure. Timing is everything. These specialized inputs should be administered starting on the very first day of antibiotic treatment and continued for several weeks afterward to ensure stability. Basic dietary maintenance works well during peacetime, but intense ecosystem stress demands concentrated, scientifically verified biological reinforcements. Once deployed, these recovery inputs execute two major operational tasks. The first is repairing the physical leaks in your containment wall. They get to work immediately by synthesizing new tight junction proteins, physically sealing the microscopic leaks inside your intestinal walls and restoring the structural barrier. The second task is re-establishing chemical security to stop any foreign invaders that already breached the perimeter. These friendly microbes deploy active chemical defenses known as bacteriocins. By producing these targeted organic acids, they directly inhibit hostile pathogens from multiplying, freezing their advance. Biological recovery involves the active reconstruction of the structural walls and chemical security of your vital internal city, ensuring it remains fortified against future disruption.